Picture this. You're about to start your tumbling pass, the lights are bright, and your teammates are watching, and the crowd is cheering. Your muscles are ready, your body's warmed up, and you've practiced your drills and your routine hundreds of times. But in the back of your mind, a small voice whispers, I can't do this. In that moment, it doesn't matter how much you've trained. If your mind isn't ready, your body won't be either. Tumbling isn't just about flips, twists, and perfect landings. I like to think of it as a pyramid. At the very bottom is your mindset, the way you think, the way you talk to yourself, and approach challenges. On top of that comes strength and flexibility, then our functional movements, then body shaping, then drills, and then skills, and finally performing a full-on tumbling pass at the top. But here's the thing, if your foundation is weak, the rest of the pyramid will wobble and crumble and fall. The base of the pyramid, your mindset, is how you think about challenges. If you believe you can improve, you're more likely to keep going when it gets hard. Psychologist Carol Dweck calls this a growth mindset, the belief that you can develop your skills through effort and practice. She says, no matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites the ability and turns it into accomplishment. That effort that ignites us is all fueled by your mindset. When you're not tumbling, we can be getting mental reps in, feeling the passes in our mind, feeling the timing. Do you dream about tumbling or performing? Those are mental reps too. What are you doing outside of the gym to help prepare yourself to perform inside the gym? Inside the gym, what does our mindset look like? Are they optimistic thoughts, meaning positive, or pessimistic thoughts, meaning negative, when approaching tumbling? If they're negative, then we need to find ways to rephrase those thoughts. That means replacing thoughts like, I'm bad at this, with I'm still learning how to do this. And even that phrase we can look at a little bit deeper. We go to a training facility to learn how to do something. It will not be perfect right away. Some athletes are adept and coordinated enough to be able to pick up on things quicker than others, and that's okay. We should not compare ourselves to others because we all learn at our own pace. We're all unique individuals. Instead, we should be lifting up our friends, always encouraging and not comparing. If we are having negative thoughts like, I can't land this skill, we always need to catch ourselves. Even better, add the word yet, for example. I can't land this skill yet. It is amazing what that little word, like yet, can do for you. By adding yet to the end of a negative or closed mindset phrase, it actually opens your mind up. It changes your attitude and how you approach the skill or drill. You'll begin to see the drill in a new light and try to figure it out. Repeating phrases like, I've got this, I can do this, I can figure this out, are just as powerful as that little word, yet. An open mindset says, I'll try. A closed mindset says, I can't. Here's the problem many athletes say they can't even before they even try the drill. A closed mindset shuts down your learning before it even starts. An open mindset is curious, brave, and willing to take risks. With an open mindset, we are open to learning how to manipulate our bodies in different ways and trying to figure out those skills. Think of tumbling like building a house. You wouldn't put it on the roof before the walls are ready. Skills take time, sometimes months, and depending on the skill level, even years. If you say, I need this skill right now, you're putting pressure on yourself that can hurt your confidence or even cause injury, especially when we're not ready for that skill. The best athletes understand that progress comes step by step, brick by brick, drills before skills. Trust the process. If you want to climb the pyramid, you need a map. And in tumbling, that map is your goals. Setting the right goals keeps you focused, motivated, and on track. There are two main types of goals. Outcome goals, which are the big results you want, like, I want to land a round off that handspring, and process goals, the smaller steps that help you get there, like, I will keep my arms tight by my ears, or I will hit a strong hollow body position. Here's the key. Focus more on process goals than outcome goals. Why, you ask? Because you can control your effort and your form, but you can't always control when the final result will happen. Sports performance coach Graham Betchart uses a phrase called win. What's important now? This means asking yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now to get closer to my goal? When you set smaller, realistic goals and check them off one by one, you build confidence and momentum, and eventually those small wins stack up into big victories. Let's be real, tumbling can get frustrating. Sometimes a skill just won't click, no matter how hard you try. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're still learning. One of the best things you can do is see frustration as a chance to grow, not a reason to give up. Here are some ways to keep your mindset strong. Focus on the process, not just the results. Instead of only thinking, I want to land my back handspring, focus on what will help you get there, like, I'm going to keep my arms up by my ears the whole time. Have a plan for tough moments. For example, tell yourself, if I start to rush, I'll stop, take a deep breath, and try again. This helps you stay calm and in control. Stay in the present. Ask yourself, what's important right now? When. This keeps your mind from worrying about the end result and lets you focus on the step you're on. Use the tools top athletes use. Olympians often imagine themselves doing the skill perfectly, which is called visualization. They talk to themselves in an encouraging way, which is positive self-talk. They turn nervous energy into excitement. When you train your brain like this, you don't just build better skills, you build confidence that can help you in sports and in life. Why rushing skills can backfire. Here's something I tell every athlete. If you say you need the skill right now, it's already too late. What I mean is, if you expect to get a new skill in just a few days, you might not have built the strength, flexibility, or mental readiness for it yet. That's when injuries happen, or your confidence takes a hit. We start rushing the skill and we start forgetting the basics. If we're performing a tumbling pass, skill, or drill, we may start thinking about the fifth step when we haven't even begun the first one. Focus on each step of that skill rather than the final step, the final result. Work on perfecting each part of the process, then you can put it all together. Instead of rushing to get the skill, trust the process of the tumbling pyramid. Work on each layer, your mindset, strength, shaping, drills, before you expect the top layer, the skill, to be solid. When you move step by step, you'll not only get the skill, you'll keep it for long term. When I work with athletes, I expect to see them work up the pyramid. Do they have the strength and mobility to the skill they're working towards? Can they hold the shapes of the skill they're about to perform? Can they perform the functional movements for the skill? Can they do the drill to perfection? Can they do it 5 times in a row? 10 times? If yes to all those, then they're ready to attempt the skill. If things are not coming together, break down the skill and work certain parts to it. If they are starting to get it, let's start with performing the skill with a light spot until they're ready to try it with me just standing there. We want between 5 and 10 reps of a coach just standing there once they prove they can do it by themselves. But do not want the athlete to become dependent on a spot from a coach to perform the skill. I always ask the athlete, who's performing the skill, me or them? I want them to jump out of the spot, tumble away from the spot, tumble away from gravity. Following this thought process of where you're at with your tumbling goals can help you realize where you are at in the process and help you get where you want to be. Once you can do the skill on your own, your next goal should be to perfect it and master the skill. Are you able to do it 5 times in a row to perfection? Are you able to do it 10 times in a row to perfection without improper shaping and improper technique? After that, work towards doing it with counts, then choreography, and music. Once you can do that, you know you've mastered the skill. Every tumbling pass, every skill, every moment of performance rests on the same foundation, your mindset. If your mind is steady and open, frustration becomes fuel, setbacks become learning moments, and success becomes possible. When you face a tough skill, remember, keep your mindset open and say, I'll try, instead of I can't. Use the word yet to remind yourself improvement is always possible. Build your skills one layer at a time without rushing. A strong mindset doesn't just help you tumble, it helps you believe in yourself, handles challenges, and keep going even when things get tough. And when your mind and body work together, you won't just land the skill, you'll soar. We encourage you to look into a local tumbling or cheerleading facility and observe the techniques being instructed. The right environment can make all the difference in your athlete's progress. Before trying any advanced tumbling, make sure you master your fundamental skills. Check out our video on tumbling fundamentals, mastering the basics for success. Equip your athlete with the education and environment they need to thrive and reach their full potential. Together, let's ensure a positive and productive journey in tumbling.